Good. Kelvin, you got to do something though. You can't just sit there and watch.
Ooh.
You know, you're a part of this now.
I'm a part of it.
You're a part of this.
I want to sit here and watch. I just take it all in.
Just do some.
That's
just
my job.
Just give me some ums and whatever.
Yeah, all right.
Ad libs.
Yeah, there we go. That's it. That's what I want to hear. Hit that.
This is the Made Creative Podcast. We finally welcome home someone from our farthest past. He was there at the beginning, but now he's finally home. So welcome to our guest today and everyone.
That was
Really sad.
I thought it was a podcast
That
this
was
week, not
so
a song.
chill. It took all my energy out, honestly.
Oh man, I can't wait to listen to that.
It was pretty though.
It was. It was good. It was a 3-part. It was all. Everyone was included.
Yeah.
The ooze. I think the ooze were essential.
Yeah.
I think without the ooze, that tanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And pretty to reflect the person we're interviewing,
Yeah.
Yeah, look at this pretty face.
Yeah, I know.
Right here. Just a face for radio.
Oh jeez. But tell me more. Tell me more.
Welcome to the Made Creative Podcast, my monthly.
Clip that. Right, let's try again.
All right.
Take 2.
Woo! Welcome to the. Oh no!
Do the big breath in.
Welcome to the Made Creative Podcast, your monthly podcast of creativeness. My name is Sam, and with me, as always, is
Connor, how you guys doing?
And today we have someone who is legendary on the channel. Legendary.
There's still tales, still jokes and tales are made of his role with the creatives
Yes.
in the distant podcast.
In the distant past.
In the distant past.
In a
sorry.
time where we were all locked down.
That's right. Lockdown, and we didn't know what we were doing.
And yeah,
No idea what we're doing.
Where we're doing and what we were doing.
Yeah, pretty much.
His name is Kelvin. He is, I don't know how to describe you anymore.
Yeah.
He's the prodigal son of Make Creative.
Prodigal son.
The prodigal has come home.
Yeah, he has returned.
I'm the older brother then.
Am I the father then?
This analogy has gone too far. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Kelvin, how you going?
I'm good. I'm really good. Good.
So I feel like we should just tell the story of who
what happened?
who you are, what happened, why you disappeared from the earth for an extended period of time, and why you're back. Yeah. So who the heck are you, Kelvin?
Oh, gee, putting me on the spot right here. Yes, Sam. My name is Kelvin. If you did not know, Connor, I'm Kelvin.
Yeah, thank you.
Call him Calvin, it'll go well.
Yeah. Or Ruben. If you call him Ruben, it annoys him as well a little bit. Or Ruben Kelvin.
Oh,
What's the
gee, man, have I missed this?
Call him Hannah.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Just call me any name.
Kelvin.
I don't know where to start. Well, where should I start?
I think we start with lockdowns when the first episode.
Yeah, start with us coming up with doing the YouTube channel and how
Yeah.
you were involved with that.
Oh, well, from what I remember, I think, first lockdown, didn't know what was going on.
In
Hadn't-
2020.
2020, wow, that's a long
Yeah, I
time
know.
ago. I think I was, like everyone else, trying to okay, what are we going to do? I got involved with church into doing online church. So I was helping out with the recording and, getting some footage done and editing. And then, did I get a call from you, Connor? Or were
Yeah,
we-
I think we needed someone to help out with sound.
Yeah, and you needed some equipment.
And we needed stuff as well. And
Yeah.
I think you were already borrowing it from Colin.
Yeah.
Um,
Shout out to Colin.
yeah, shout out to Colin, awesome guy,
Yeah.
just top tier guy.
Yeah.
Honestly. Anyway, we were doing the and you had it because you were doing some recording stuff.
Mm.
And so we were going to borrow it off you, and then it turns out we didn't have a charger for it, if you remember.
Yes.
And then we went there, and Colin made us a charger. He made a charger in his
That's
shed
right.
in the small pan of time there.
Yeah.
And then Kelvin came back and started helping us do sound
Yeah.
for the very, very first video, which was the song,
Heavenly Love.
which was Heavenly Love.
Heavenly
The
Love.
Prodigal Son.
Go watch
What
that
a
video.
moment.
It's at almost 1,000 views.
It's almost at 1,000 views. It's so close. I think it's like 20 views.
971.
71, 30
Last
views.
time I checked.
That's
Yes.
And it's not me. It's not me just watching it every day.
Can I just, you can be proud. Our most viewed video, you recorded the sound for.
better the sound. Wow. Take that, Joe.
Yeah, Joel, stuff you.
Oh man.
Things were better when Kelvin was around. It wasn't.
I'm looking at all this setup, man. Joe recorded your album. Show him some love, guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Jeez. What's with you guys and sound guys? I'm like, they are the pinnacle of your whole.
You're right. They
They're
are.
musicians.
Without-
What do you expect?
Yeah.
But you gotta treat him right. You know?
yeah.
That's why I left. You know? I wasn't being treated right, and you know, I just felt undervalued by these guys, and I was like, you know
Underpaid?
what? Yeah, underpaid for all the work that I was doing.
Joel gets paid $0. We were
listen-
paying him -$1.
He was paying us.
Oh man.
Yeah, he just wanted equal rights to Joel.
Yeah.
That's not what happened.
Yeah.
That's definitely not what
we had
happened.
pretty jank setups back in the day. I might even put some pictures up.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Of
That'd be
some
cool
of
because
the
we did
jank.
take. I do remember we used to take photos of the whole of sort of all
Yeah,
of it.
yeah.
And I remember that we had a problem with that. I honestly can't remember what it was.
The lights and the
No, it was the sound. It was something to do with the sound desk. The sound desk was like giving off this like really grainy, like gainy signal, I guess.
And we were like,
and you
peaking
couldn't
a
figure
lot.
out why it was like constantly peaking all the time. And anyway, so I don't know how long you guys spent on it trying to fix it, but your
Every-
dad actually came in.
Turned everything off and on and fixed it all.
Yeah, he literally just turned everything off, turned everything on again, and it was fixed. It was great.
We would spend like what most of the time of recording was setting up, right?
Yeah,
Like,
and trying to
yeah.
make the sound work. And
it
stuff
was like
that.
3 hours just to get the audio to work.
Their equipment was like the bare minimum. It was
Yeah,
it was pretty bad.
yeah. It was the basic. We just started with what we had basically
Yeah.
and what we
Yeah.
had access to.
Do you remember like I think it was the second song we did, which was Stronger with Him. We recorded it and kind of kept peaking the mic at the end of the bridge so bad that like we had to redo the whole video again
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah, well, yeah, but the whole thing
with
is
a worse mic to make it so it wouldn't peak.
yeah, but I remember that because the whole thing was that it was something to do with the sound desk again, and we didn't know why. It was like we
It
couldn't
was the
turn this.
recorder.
Or the recorder or something.
Was the
Yeah, we
recorder,
couldn't
yeah.
turn it down or something. I can't remember what the story was exactly. But I had to sing the bridge to while they were trying to figure out what was wrong with it.
For 2 hours.
For 2 hours, I was singing the bridge, which is like it's not like super hard to sing,
no,
but it's
just
not.
for the last note.
But the last note is pretty like it's like
Yeah,
loud,
yeah.
intense note,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I had to sing that note over and over and over again. I was like, guys, if I have to, it's for like 2 hours. Like, if I'm gonna have to keep doing this, I'm gonna have to get a glass of water and have a rest.
It's level ever.
Yeah, and we were like telling him like you gotta go like this away from the mic. And
Yeah. Just like it was just more to do with mic technique.
Kinda
Just
You
to
have to
sing
peaking.
unplug the
quietly.
mic for that
Yeah.
bit.
That's right. It was like just sing quieter. I'm like, no, it's not the same. It just won't have the same effect. Like you can't just sing that quieter. So we just pulled away from the mic at the right time. I think that's how we solved that in the end. But
What was the last song we did? Or
was it Returning Hope?
Returning Home.
yeah, actually, I
that
think you're
was-
right. Yeah, Returning Hope with Kirst.
Yeah.
Kirsten.
Yeah.
Which was also a nightmare, I remember.
Yeah,
It was.
I can't.
It was all a nightmare.
Yeah, because at first we were gonna get you to sing, but we didn't have enough inputs. Is that right?
No, we got him singing.
No, I
this.
sing. I sing. Yeah, I sing. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
It's just it was just all one
But it was
audio
like,
file.
yeah, exactly. Because we
Yeah,
couldn't.
yeah.
It wasn't like everything wasn't individual. It was just mono. Everything was mono. Everything went into one line, and that
Yeah.
was it. Yeah.
Yeah. So what was it like filming with us to begin with, Kelvin?
It was actually fun.
Yeah, it was a good time.
It was
wasn't
a good time. Like, you know, it got me into like this whole recording and stuff. Like I'd never done that before.
Yeah.
You know, I was winging it.
Yeah.
we were all winging it. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Somewhere along the line, fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was that. It was.
I didn't know how to edit.
Yeah.
I mean, thankfully the first video was just one shot.
It was just one shot. Yeah.
I don't know how to play guitar. Like,
Yeah, dude, you just
I just picked it up and I just winged it. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, hopefully this works out.
You didn't even know how to write a song.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
crazy.
nothing.
I
yeah.
mean, I didn't when we started.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
that's real.
In fairness, yeah.
I remember it was great. I mean, technically we were doing illegal things because we were only allowed one friend in the house in the original lockdown, and it was you two there.
No, it was your.
I felt like it was a full-on Mission Impossible. Everyone sneak into the house to record in lockdown.
No, Connor was your friend, and I was your mum's friend. You know, just
That's right. Yeah. So technically, it was legal.
no.
How did you become my mum's
Kelvin's
friend?
not a friend. Yeah, that's all it is. Kelvin's
They're
just
tight.
not your friend.
They're like this.
Yeah, go on little coffee dates just to
Oh,
catch
so
up and
cute.
Oh
Yeah.
man, don't tell your dad.
Just
But
a
yeah, like
coincidence.
it was a good time in the middle of lockdown where we couldn't really see people
Yeah.
at all,
Mm.
and we would just every weekend be filming,
Mm.
moving my dining room table out of the
Yeah,
way.
yeah, that's right. We
gee,
had
that
to-
was heavy.
we had to yeah. So in all those videos, it's actually Sam's dining room at home.
Yeah.
So we had to move everything out of the area, all the chairs, all the tables, all the little plants and bits and pieces that are around
Wine
there.
rack.
The wine rack, yeah. Every time before we had to film. So that's why it took so long to set up. Like
Yeah.
it was like not like now we
And
like
then
rock
try
up to a
and
church with an
fit
empty
the
stage.
lights.
Yeah, yeah,
remember
that's
that?
right. Yeah, we had to
What
fit the
happened
lights
to
in
the
that.
lights?
Oh, they're
still
still
have 'em.
around.
They're still around.
But like when you have like actual church lighting.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we have real lighting.
And the curtains and the
yeah,
Oh,
we
the
still got the
curtains
curtains.
stuff.
Yeah, still got the
Yeah.
curtains.
man, that
Yeah.
was
And like every time we would record, we'd have to go and buy something new as well.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
From
Yeah,
Bunnings and stuff.
even if for the I don't know how much duct tape we went through. Went through a lot of duct tape because we used to duct tape the curtains up.
yes,
Before we realized we could just hook the loop.
chairs.
Oh, it was to chairs and brooms.
Yes.
we used brooms. We taped brooms to the backs of chairs and then hung the shower curtains to diffuse the light
Yeah,
from the top of the broom.
yeah,
Oh my goodness, it was so much effort.
yeah. So
It's
now,
crazy.
now
I forgot.
Kelvin, I'm going to give you some time to get in any payback you wish,
Mm.
because we made fun of you a lot
You
in the
did.
first starting podcasts, and we would, in the first real starting ones, we would give you a mic, introduce you, and then tell you to be quiet.
That's right.
we
I forgot.
wouldn't let you
All
be
right,
on
All right, no
camera.
more talking now, Kelvin. That's it. But
And, like,
Joel,
we still do it
Joel
with
can talk whenever he wants.
Whenever he wants, he just
Yeah.
doesn't talk a lot. You
Yeah.
know? That's fine.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to allow you the time, the space to say whatever you feel like you need to say in rebuttal to this.
You know what? I think you guys just miss me so much, and you just couldn't get over the fact that
You know what?
I left.
You know what? A little bit of that's true.
and,
A little bit.
And the only way you could fit me into this whole thing was just to rip into me.
Yeah.
You
That's
know
right.
what? You just
Just keep you included. Well, so like Kelvin and I shared a sad moment. Well, actually, we'll get to that later. Actually, maybe because you want to because we're sort of a bit later on in the story, isn't it? But
yeah.
because like when you left after like a few months basically of doing videos with us,
You moved to
Yeah.
Victoria.
and you went to Victoria. Do you want to explain why you moved to Victoria and what happened there?
Yeah. So I think getting stuck into lockdown, and I mean, I got sort of offered jobs here in Perth, but I guess everyone in lockdown got that sense of adventure because everyone was locked down and they just wanted to go. So I got this opportunity to go to regional Victoria and be the primary physio at one of the hospitals there. And in my mind, I was like, hey, Victoria, let's go. I'm going to be going snowboarding. I'll be going to the mountains. I'll be exploring Victoria. That was the main reason why I left.
Did you forget that it was also locked down there?
No, it wasn't.
It
No,
wasn't yet. It wasn't yet.
It wasn't
Yeah.
yet.
That's before all this
Just
happened.
before, and then I think it was 2 weeks in.
Mm,
2 weeks in, and then the whole world changed.
yeah.
And I was like, man, what have I done?
Mm.
But yeah, so I moved to Victoria for work and just to explore the East Coast.
But before you went, we shared this is a sad moment I was sort of talking about.
Yeah.
If you remember that the last night you were there, I think you were giving me back my guitar that you borrowed off me for years and years and years and years and years.
Mm.
And we just sort of shared a moment where we were just like, I was like, don't worry, Kelvin, you'll always be like a family with Made Creative, and and then you said, "Don't worry, I'll be back." And like we kind of like that was a heart moment. That was a good moment. I definitely remember.
Yeah.
And Kelvin really is our first it's the first ambassador of Make Creative.
Yes.
Yes. So
First ambassador, first person besides me and Connor. Like,
Oh yeah. Never thought
He-
about it that way.
he basically let us start this channel.
Yeah.
Without him,
without him, we would
wouldn't
have
have been able to
been
do it.
awkwardly running back and 2 and 4. Things would have taken forever.
Yeah.
Things would have been frustrating. And I think like the more frustrating thing is right. The like more you lose, like you can lose passion for it. And I think that to have someone there to do that kind of work that we didn't understand made it super fun to hang out and like catch up. And you know, it was awesome. It made
Yeah.
it good.
especially in a time when we couldn't catch up with people all the time.
Exactly.
either.
Yeah. Especially. Yeah.
It was pretty awesome. Yeah. Kelvin is the reason that Make Creative's YouTube started.
Yeah.
So, and he is one of the first people that we showed songs to as well. So
yeah.
it was like,
that's true as well. Yeah.
you know, it was
I think that's why I also got on board. I was like, man, I was like, did you guys write this?
Yeah.
this is really you.
Yeah, I was like, this is really good.
Yeah.
I was like, this is really good. I wanna.
I love the idea that two of the first people that we showed songs to are now in some way was incorporated into Make Creative. Like Hannah was the other one.
Yeah, true.
Like,
yeah, Hannah was the
just-
other one.
yeah,
Yeah,
I love
and
that.
I love that because we obviously interviewed her last month, and one of the things she was saying, she was like, "Oh man, like she kind of wished at that point that she could be a part of it." Like, and I was like, "Wow, that's really cool." That she was like really excited for us, so much so that she wanted to like be a part of it. And I was like, "That's awesome!" Like,
Yeah, I mean, that's what I felt. I mean, you guys were doing the writing, kind of was doing this thing. I was like, man, I'm like, I want to be a part of this.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so when you were like sort of asking me, I was like, heck yeah, let's do
Yeah,
it.
why
you know,
not?
why not? Yeah.
I mean, you also had an extra camera, which was very helpful as
oh,
well.
he did too, didn't he? Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
It was so good before we had multiple cameras and
Yeah.
let us have Stronger with him with multiple cameras
yeah,
and all that sort of
that's
stuff.
right.
It was so good. Kelvin would send me messages from Victoria about like when we were releasing a song, he would send me messages about how much he loved it or that he
Yeah.
was worshipping to it and stuff, which
Because
is awesome.
I was in lockdown.
Yeah.
I couldn't go to church.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
Um,
Kelvin messaged like Kelvin and I caught up a couple of times just on the phone, and he would be like, "Oh, Make Creative has become my church,"
Mm.
and I was
Yeah.
like, "Whoa, that's crazy."
Which is so cool.
So he's our first member of our
Yeah.
congregation.
He started for a bit, which I find really funny, occasionally commenting on our music videos with all the chords to the songs, but he only did it for like 3 and then gave up.
Hey, still,
I wasn't getting any love from it. You know, nah.
yeah. I saw it, but I knew he had to
thing
do
is,
it anyway.
I honestly I never know how to respond to that because the whole thing is it's a public forum, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just always careful about like making it like a personal conversation in a public forum
yeah.
from the guys of Make Creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was cool. And then you moved back here and you were working down in Bunbury. So we got to see you around Christmas time, I feel like.
Yeah.
We did the Christmas Carol video at Riverton. You got to be a part of that. And then you were
Oh,
down in
yeah,
Bunbury
that's right.
working.
Get you showcase. I think you showcase in the Sports Fest one, but there was so much wind that day that it's like you can't hear anything that we say.
So I don't think
I don't think it
footage.
makes it, but
Yeah.
yeah, he would have featured.
And you, while you were down there, I love this story. I think we've told it before, but Kelvin was working down in Bunbury and we had been ripping into him on the podcast.
every week.
We had gone down to stay with our family friends, the Barneses, Joss and Noel, and so Connor had met them. And you end up having Joss in at the physio and meeting her, and she realizes that you're the person we always refer to on the podcast and are mean to. And she sends me, she called, I think she called me.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, she called me and went, I've just met Kelvin. He is the nicest person. Stop being mean to him. He's the best.
Yeah, it was funny because when I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. Patient.
Yeah.
When
Well,
said person,
she said it to me, so you know.
when said person, I'm not gonna say the name, walked into the clinic and I mean, I saw the last name was familiar. I was like, I don't know, maybe. And then while I was, in treatment and whatnot, and then I was like, wait, are you Drew's mom? And then she was like, how do you know my son? And then we sort of went back and forth and I was like, oh yeah, I also know Sam. Like, I think he said with you guys. He's like, oh, yeah, I know Sam. And then she sort of paused for a minute and she was like, wait, are you Kelvin? Are you Kelvin from the podcast? I was like, oh, no. Yeah. And then she was like, you know what? I am going to give it to Sam. He is going to stop ripping into you. And she just took it on. And next thing, the next podcast.
We didn't, did we?
Yeah, we didn't. We actually didn't. We were like, I think we made joke about it. We were like, and then we were like, no, we can't do that anymore.
I think this is a big moment as well. You were on the Christmas, but for a while we only took shots of the back of your head, and we wouldn't show you. No,
that was
face.
Joel.
No, the original joke was Kelvin.
Oh yeah, true.
And
yeah,
so we
true,
wanted
true.
to follow it on, but we realized when we were recording an album that just wasn't going to happen.
Too hard. Yeah, I think the first time you see Joel's face is in the
album vlogs.
Yeah, in the album vlogs. Yeah.
Yeah, but and we did it as a joke because there were some people in Sydney that were like, "Who's the cute sound guy?"
That's right. Yeah.
And so I was like, "So we're never going to show his face."
Yeah. But unfortunately, this is the. Oh no, he's been shown before in the vlogs.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So Kelvin, you're back. You're back in Perth.
I'm now back in Perth. Yeah.
So what are you going to do with this now?
Oh, I don't know. I was thinking of starting my own channel.
Oh, okay. In direct competition.
Yeah. Like it's creatively made.
Pay Joel $1.
Yeah. and my name will be Creatively Made.
Yep.
Oh, actually, yeah. Creatively Made. Oh,
Yeah.
I think they sent us an email asking if we could write some songs for them.
Yeah.
But they had to be better than the ones we'd already written. That was
okay.
that was the rule. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Right.
I think I also received a job offer from them.
Are you gonna take it? I don't know. What do you? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Like, look, all I know is that
Is there a position available? What's going on? Is this a job
you
interview?
could just be the third.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, Kelvin.
All right, Kelvin. Just wondering. So, what was your previous place of work? And, what has it got to do with podcasts and that? Do you have any experience in this kind of field already? Or
Yeah, I was actually involved in setting up a semi-successful podcast on the rise.
on the rise. Okay,
Yeah.
cool, great.
They've I was sort of like ground up, and they've gone to do bigger things without me. But I thought I think I was the stepping stone.
Yeah, and what would you say is your greatest weakness?
Oh, I care too much.
You care too much? Yeah. Okay. All right. What is your greatest strength then?
What is your greatest strength? Yeah.
I'm strong.
Man, if you just said I care too much, that would have been perfect.
No.
I'm sorry, we're not interested.
No, you know what?
I hear on my list of hobbies I have here from your resume. Sorry, it's such a long resume. That you also sing.
On the side, yes.
On the side.
On the side.
So, well, on the side of your mouth.
You're living on the side. No, I'm part of the worship team at my church and my old church. Shout out to Nations down in Bunbury.
That small church.
That small church.
My senior pastor was there 2 weeks ago, by the way.
Oh, was he? Oh, nice.
Oh, wait, no, not Nations. Sorry, Dream Builders. Wrong church.
I was the pianist, and is it pianist? Did we come?
That's right. That's correct.
Yeah,
that's correct.
Yeah.
Wow, you listened to the last podcast, didn't you?
I was keyboardist.
The keyboardist. You play keyboard?
I do.
Yeah, he plays keys.
Yeah.
Do you not know that? And good as well.
I honestly didn't know that. Why? What?
And before you say why isn't he made creative, it's because we have Hannah.
And she's awesome.
And Hannah is awesome.
And
but
before that, we
Kelvin
had Kirsten.
Kelvin had been away.
I genuinely didn't know that. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
He actually predominantly plays keys. So he, my understanding is that down south at your church at Nations Bunbury, you actually MD'd the services.
I was hoping to get into MD.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't get that far in. I think that was my main thing this year.
Were they using
stayed
multi-tracks and stuff? Like, were you operating like the multi-tracks or like the effects on your keys or anything, or just straight keys?
We had some effects going. We had some multi-tracks as well.
Yeah,
through.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, you never know how.
Look, you know what? Even if Kelvin's just like the consistent third
like
couch member for podcasts. I'm
Oh,
down
that's
for that,
true.
actually.
You never know. Another
Okay.
male vocalist. Who knows?
Also, he's a photographer,
He's a photographer.
so he can do some footage stuff for us, which
We're just using this podcast just to get him back in
just
the
to
fold.
hire him. Yeah,
really,
that's right. Yeah, and
Well-
to trying to get him to say commit to something on camera.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a professional now.
Oh.
You know,
Yeah, exactly.
my hour is worth a lot.
Oh, okay.
So I need a little bit of incentive.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
just to,
Okay, so how about this?
How about
we'll take
this?
we'll take your wage, right, that we originally paid you, and we'll pay and we'll 1,000% pay rise.
See, I was going to suggest something else because
Okay, let's-
I will personally, seeing as last night you fell asleep to my message, I'll personally record a going to sleep message for you every night.
Oh, that's so.
If you want, it could be ASMR. Like I'll full on go. Good night, Kelvin.
Oh gosh. That would, no offense, Sam. That would give me nightmares.
I don't know what I think about that. I don't know. I'll have to get back to you. Can I get a couple of days just to think about the offers and
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. To wrap up, can you just tell me like one thing that God has done over this entire process that you're like blown away by in the last 2 years from when you started helping us out to now? Like you've moved a bunch, you've done a bunch of things. What's one thing that you feel like God has done that's been awesome in that?
in that sort of creative space or
Just
In
whatever,
me,
man. Just God blowing your mind with something.
I'd say I think it's been a couple of things. I think the big thing was when I was in Victoria, I think I just had this realization of because I didn't have any church and any of that sort of support around me, and then I took for granted having that support, and I think I was, I think you sort of get lost in the sense of there's no church and you have no accountability and whatnot, and then it got to a point where I had this realization of I don't know, this again, this is just me. I'm gonna say us as Christians, but I'm talking about me. How proud we are. I don't know if I'm explaining it well, but it's that sense of I think I had that innate sense of like, just because I'm a Christian, I'm like I'm better than the non-believers. I don't know.
Sure. Okay.
It was that sense of like, I don't know. It's just like as a Christian, I wouldn't do that. But then when
It's
you
kind of like as a Christian, you felt as if you had some kind of moral high ground because you know what you're doing is right. Maybe.
in a way, or like a little bit like that, or in the sense of like I know better. I'll never do that.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then you find yourself maybe falling and then doing, getting to sort of bad habits or, doing stuff that you said, oh, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, and you also like you're looking at it from a viewpoint of like, so like at first you're like, oh, I would never do that. How could I ever slip or fall into anything like that?
Yeah.
And then you find yourself like right at the door of that, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, I think the biggest realization was I am that. Like, oh, actually, I'm worse than that because I know better.
Yeah, sure.
And that was really humbling. I think because growing up, I sort of grew up around church and, with God sort of, at the center of most things that I did. And you sort of like, because you knew all that, it's like you were brought up, because you're brought up in a Christian family, you're brought up in, I don't know, good values. And
Great,
whatnot,
yeah, that's right, yeah.
And so it's just like, in a way, you never thought that you'd ever do anything but that. I don't know if I'm explaining that right.
No,
I think I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I understand. Like when you've always lived a certain way, you go, oh, you take it for granted
you do.
that
Yeah.
you live that way, and that it's actually harder than people think it is to, like, it's harder to not live that way than people think it is. And the minute you slide out, you go, oh, I actually wasn't as safe in thinking this way, or like I wasn't as secure in myself in what I was doing than I thought I was. And
I
that
think,
can be quite
yeah.
confronting.
And I've had chats with like, you know, other people who sort of grew up in that Christian family and whatnot, and then versus, you know, people who like got radically saved.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's a different passion.
Yes.
You know, because they were like, man, God got me out of that, and now I'm here. Versus, you know,
I've always known.
I've always known, and I mean, you still have that encounter and relationship, but I think it was humbling to go through that and sort of experience and get a sense of like everyone's journey is different.
Yeah. I think like, because I've always been in Christian family and stuff, like one of the things that I really struggled with as a teenager, for example, was that a lot of my friends had come to faith as teenagers. And so, yeah, like I'm still a teenager, but I've been a Christian since I was 8. And so I have like this level of maturity in Christianity that's not just like 2 years long.
right,
It's like it's longer. And regardless of whether I'm still growing in my faith a lot, that time's still there. And so one of the hardest things was to feel like I relate, because I like some of the stuff they were going through, I'm like, yeah, but like I've been doing this for like 5+ years. And so the initial excitement, that was like when I was younger, and you know, you have all that. And so it's a different way of handling and thinking. And one of the biggest struggles that I found was, okay, like I wasn't radically saved. I grew up in a Christian family. Like, yes, I have my encounter with the Lord and like all that sort of stuff. But how do I make the longevity of my Christian faith be an increase, not a plateau or a decrease?
Yeah.
And
Talk about growth and good soil. Sam.
Yeah,
Shout out to your message.
yeah. And that was the challenge for me. And it's been a continual challenge to be like, oh, how am I growing and maturing, but also keeping that passion and that love for God that's real and that incorporates everything of me, like my emotions, my logic, all of that. How do I keep that going? There's not something that someone who's a Christian for like 5 years can understand when I've been a Christian since I was 8.
Yeah.
You know, now I'm 28 this year, so 20 years.
Yeah.
So how do I do that? And so when I started having like radical encounters with God, that's when I realized like, oh, there's so much more. But I fully understand. Like when I was a young adult, I went off the deep end for a little bit and, you know, like I explored what it would be like not to be. And it was like, oh, it's actually a lot easier than I thought it was. I know someone who what I always find interesting is like it's not like the longer you've been a Christian, the better Christian you are. Now, and of course, I know the term better Christian is kind of like a dumb thing to say, because the whole point of it is that we're not good, right? But like, for example, when you meet these people who have been like, oh, I've been a Christian for 2 years and whatever, and you're like, sometimes looking like from a shallow outward look at like what they're doing with their life at the moment, you're like, what am I doing? Like they seem to like have figured it out. It seems like they have they had that big all of a sudden like, oh, I turned my life around revelation moment where God like intervened in such a miraculous way, and then there's just like they've gone from that, you know, like if you're talking about Aaron, for example, like in the past he had this really low point in his life, and then he had that moment where it's just like bang, God talking to him, and then it's just like his whole life just turned around, and now he's like, you know, out like shallow look at, you know, outward from like for me is like, wow, he knows what he's doing now. How does that like now I think inward of me, and I think, oh, I've been a Christian for all this time, and he's achieved all of this, and like there's no way I could ever keep up with that, even though I've technically been a Christian longer. I mean, but Christianity is not about what you do; it's who you are,
absolutely,
and who you be with, for sure. So it's not about like what you get done.
Sure.
The thing like that I think is always interesting. I think Aaron would probably agree to this. Is, for example, is like, you know, you take someone who's been a Christian for 2 years, been radically saved. They haven't hit the dips yet.
Sure.
And that's the hard part. Is like it's not always
It's just upward, yeah.
upward.
that's right.
And so that's the hardest part, right?
Mm.
But like the quicker you can learn as a Christian that you are a son and a daughter, not an orphan, that you belong to him, that there is nothing you can do. It's all about being his child.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. And that's why, like, you know, people achieve great things is only when they think from that perspective. It's not when they think about what they're trying to achieve. And that sort of thing. But yeah, for sure. I think we'll wrap it up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to say I've missed you a lot,
Uh-huh.
genuinely. And I missed when we started this and the three of us hanging out.
Yeah.
And so just hanging out with you right now, I'm super happy you're back.
Also,
I've
Kelvin,
missed you.
I got to know also,
Yeah.
who was the first person you told that you're actually coming back to Perth?
Oh.
Because I think I'm up there.
You mean? Oh. I mean, Sean sort of knew.
I assume that, yeah. I assume that because that's why you're in Perth.
Yeah. I'd say yeah, dude. I'd say you.
Cool.
Because I think I called you one.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you
Yeah,
called me up and you were
yeah.
like, "Hey, man," and I was like, "Hey, Kelvin, what's up, my dude?" And I kind of knew already because you did.
You visited.
I visited you,
Yeah, yeah.
and then you said you were thinking about it, but you weren't sure because it seemed a bit awkward because you just got a house.
Yeah.
And it was like complicated and you didn't know, you needed someone to take over the lease, so it might not have been possible.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, flip, I hope he comes back. And then I saw his name pop up on my phone when he called me and I was like, he's coming home.
Yeah.
I like knew from then, and then sure enough, it's happened.
But
I'm
yeah.
like, yeah, let's
But yeah,
go.
it's good to hang out again.
Hey,
it's good that you're back
It's good to be
in
back.
Perth. And
Hey,
we're happy to have you back. As much as we make jokes, we
Yeah.
love you, dude.
I mean, I love being back and excited to see where this whole thing is gonna go, boys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's go.
It's
Yeah,
exciting.
man.
So anyway, you can follow us here on the channel at Make Creative. Make sure you subscribe, like, ring the bell so you know exactly when our videos come out. You can follow us on Facebook at Made Creative, and you can follow us at Made Creative Worship on Instagram as well.
Don't forget to leave those likes and comments.
Yep, super helpful.
Yeah, we will read every single one. Don't think that we're not going to read it. Even if it's chords for the song, we will read it. We just might not respond to all of them.
Or we may fix your work because all the new songs I already have all the chords for.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. So
Make a plug for myself as well.
yeah.
Oh, you can plug yourself.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, not your fake YouTube channel though.
Kelvin's channel, Creative Made.
Which is just gets redirected to our YouTube page.
Yeah. But go there because, you know. Yeah. What do you want to plug, Kelvin?
Oh, no, I was like, if you have any physio needs,
heaps
sporting
to do.
injuries, come check me out at Perth Sports Physio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Careful with the words, come check me out. We had people demanding to see your face when we started, so just watch out, Kelvin. Watch out.
To all my Sydney followers,
What's up?
Orders are open now.
Orders are now open.
Anyway, we're going to stop there. We're going to stop here. All right. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome week. We'll
guys.
see you next time.
you next
Bye-bye.
Peace.
so
Hey, thanks for watching that video. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit the bell icon so you know when our next video comes out. Have an awesome week.